Hey guys, Manic Gallant here. I'm going to start doing things a little differently. I'm going to try to use my shorts to link into the longer videos. I know not everybody wants to see what I'm doing, and it's really not about you anyway. This is just for me and to have a little fun. But if you do like the videos, I hope you continue to watch them. I'd have a lot of fun in finding new recipes and new ways to make things that taste good and, to me, beat what you're getting out in the general public. So this is my hamburger recipe. I'm a big fan of hamburgers, and out here in the Coachella Valley, we have a ton of hamburger places, and some of them are really good. However, I stumbled upon this recipe from Julia Childs. The ingredients are half of a white onion, clove of garlic, stick of celery, 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of butter, pound of ground beef, about a teaspoon and a half of salt, about a teaspoon of pepper, and about a quarter teaspoon of thyme. That all gets mixed into the meat. That's what we're doing here is cutting the celery into small, tiny little pieces. It pretty much melts away as you cook it into the hamburger meat. You can't even see it at the end. The onion, though, since it's diced, does show up quite a bit. As you can see here, I put a little salt when I'm slicing my garlic. It helps it not stick so much to the cutting board. Just a trick I learned somewhere. I'm pretty sure it was on YouTube. Now, all that being said, this process doesn't take that long, even within the video, the long form of the video without cutting this down any took less than 25 minutes from start to finish. So this isn't a difficult recipe to do. If you've already got garlic sliced up in a jar, that works too. Uh, I tend to use fresh ingredients, so that's how I roll. All right, so now we're going to add the salt and the pepper. Again, about a teaspoon and a half. I know my grinders pretty well, so it's about 30 turns, maybe 35. But you can always put too much salt, so I try to keep it down to a low level, and I can always add more if I want to. But I know my little pepper and salt grinders, so I know about what I'm going to put on them. So then we dice our onion here. I've cut off the part where I almost cut off my fingers. Just kidding. I've been watching a lot of videos from the real YouTubers, and it does help you learn to cut better. And believe me, a sharp knife certainly helps. I have cut myself with dull knives more times than I'm willing to admit. So, but yeah, what we're going to do here is cut up this half an onion, and then we're going to move it in to the saute. All right, so I got the butter started to melt here in just a little non-stick pan. It doesn't take long to do this, and I'm not going to go into the details of sauteing. It's not hard to do. The object here in particular is to get the raw onion flavor out and get a little bit of the butter texture in. Um, you can basically tell when these are done when they're slightly translucent and you're not smelling raw onion directly in your nose. Uh, Here, you can see that I didn't get the onion cut up quite like I wanted it. But hey, welcome to home cooking versus chefing. So now we've got all the ingredients that we need here. We've got our onions sauteed down. We've added those. We're going to add the egg. Then we're going to add the butter. And you're going to have a nice, lovely, what looks to be a sloppy mess when this is all stirred up. So we're going to fold it in here shortly after I get the butter in with a spatula and try to get all the ingredients mixed around, chopped up a little bit. And you'll see that happen in just a few minutes. Yep, we're adding the butter. And at the time of recording, there was a lot going on in the house, so I had to come back and do a voiceover. But, you know, so be it. Normally I have the sound effects in the background. At this time I do not. But you will fold and stir this up until all the ingredients are mixed together, and then we'll move on from there. And here's where you get your hands dirty, literally. When you're handling ground beef, you always want to get your hands a little wet. Nice little trick I learned from the fellow guys. All these British cooks, man, I'm telling you, they come up with some good stuff. And you'll see me make some mistakes here, but not here. But when I go make the patties, if I did not shorten the clip up, you'll see I forgot to clean off my hands in between and it sticks to my fingers. But yeah, if you put a little water on your hands, you don't have to be soaking wet. You can definitely manage this a whole lot better. As I said, this is going to feel really loose compared to your normal hamburgers. Don't panic, that's the way it's supposed to be. The flour will soak up some of that and it will help in the browning later on. So, just split it up into in this case, at about, this is actually about 3/4 of a pound, not quite a full pound, but this should give you good, at a pound, it should give you 4 quarter pounders basically. Um, and, it's not the, it's not the matter. What you're just trying to do here is make sure you've got it all split up. So when you go to make the patties, you're not fighting yourself. That's all it is, to even this out. So I didn't include making all the patties, but basically at this point, once you're patting these out like this, you'll get flour all over your hands. You will need to wash your hands in between. Otherwise, the flour and the meat will start to stick to your fingers and you're going to have a bad day. Uh, so just remember that when you're moving from forming the patties into the flour and you go back to grab the next ball, to either have a bowl of water or a sink, which is right behind me in this case, uh, to handle keeping your hands clean, or you're going to have a bad day. All right. Now, typically what I would do here, and as I was cooking, I got, again, distracted. Typically, you would not put the time on after the fact. You would actually mix this into the hamburger meat. So it was a little more evenly distributed. But, you know, as I get older, I don't remember everything. It's that CRS syndrome, can't remember stuff. So, I just use a little spare time here to get my hamburgers straight, uh, and got that all laid out to make sure that we were good to go. And again, you can see in this how loose these patties seem to be. They will firm up after you get them into the pan, and we'll see that here soon when we go to the frying. All right, so at this point, they had been cooking on one side for approximately 3 minutes. You can see that they firmed up some, little squeeze to get the other side of the hamburger here. I wish I had weights. I do not. A nice weight on these would give me a better browning capability. Um, but as you can see here, uh, before the flip, we have a nice brown coating. And that is going to add to the flavor of the burger. If you ask around and look at some other YouTube videos, if you use just a tad bit of baking soda, you can actually increase your browning a little bit too. I don't recommend it because I don't like the bitterness of baking soda in anything that I do, but that to each their own. And in any case, we're going to toast the buns here. If you don't have a Ninja Flip, not a sponsor, these things are amazing and they're relatively cheap. I wouldn't say they're super cheap, but we replaced our toaster with this thing. We cook pot pies in it, pizza. I can cook chicken wings in it, a whole bunch of other stuff. But it's a great toaster as well. Really quick. I'd highly suggest a toaster oven if you don't have one. All right, I am going to include this because I'm proud of this knife. Not my cutting skills, just the knife. Um, and this is a Shun 8-inch chef, Western chef. I love this knife. It's a little bit harder than my Wusthof. Don't get me wrong, I do love the Wusthof as well. But this Japanese steel is much tougher. I'm able to get way thinner slices on a tomato, uh, and I don't have to press as hard on the skin. There's a little bit of sawing motion, as you can see here, but I am not crushing this tomato, which you would do with a duller knife. So again, I can't emphasize the need for sharp knives, and I know cooks, don't ever cut a tomato like that. I got it. All right, so now we're going to finish this off. Now, people are going to beat me up for this, but I use Velveeta cheese here. I love the way it melts. It's not the greatest cheese, I get it, but it certainly melts really quickly. Love it. It's the best thing ever. We're going to put a little bit of mustard ketchup on this. You don't need much more than that. One thing I would recommend with this hamburger setup, which I did not have, is some dill pickles. It pairs really well with this. I don't like mayonnaise on my burger. Your toppings and your condiments are your business. But I'm going to add a little, as soon as I get done playing with the hamburger here, I'm going to get a little lettuce and tomato to throw on this. And we're going to cut into this and take a look. I have to apologize. I didn't run the camera before I bit into the hamburger, but as you can see in this cross section, there's a little bit of onion in there, but you see no celery. Uh, it's a good looking burger, and I'm taking another bite, and let me tell you, it's delicious. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Later.